So tomorrow I'm sending a letter to President Biden, to his physician, Dr. O'Connor, and I'm CCing his entire cabinet. And it's embarrassing that I have to do this, and it's really embarrassing as a former White House physician to have to do something like this, but we don't have any choice based on what's going on. But I'm going to be demanding on behalf of many millions of concerned Americans right now that he submit to a drug test before and after this debate, specifically looking for performance-enhancing drugs.
What's up, everybody? Major retired Richard Ojeda here, and Ronnie Jackson demands President Biden get tested for performance-enhancing drugs before and after the debate.
In his State of the Union address, that there was a Joe Biden that came out that was not similar at all to what we see on a day-to-day basis for the last 3.5 years. And there's just really no way to explain that other than he was on something, that they'd given him medications.
Just to clarify, this person's name is Ronnie Jackson, not Ronnie Johnson, as Donald Trump mistakenly referred to him during a speech in Detroit while discussing cognitive tests and questioning President Joe Biden's mental fitness. Go figure.
I think he should take a cognitive test like I did. I took a cognitive test and I aced it. Doc Ronnie Johnson. Does everyone know Ronnie Johnson, congressman from Texas?
MAGA is so worried Trump will lose the upcoming debate that they're willing to push any nonsense to discredit Joe Biden beforehand. Donald Trump's accusations of drug use and his supporters jumping on the bandwagon against President Joe Biden are glaring examples of this. It's laughable to see Trump projecting his insecurities and flaws onto others, as if accusing Joe Biden somehow masks his own deplorable behaviors. This failed attempt at deflection only exposes his inability to face his shortcomings, and it's widely known that he's deeply sensitive about the size of his shortcomings. In a recent speech, Trump referred to Joe Biden as Joe Bride, adding to his history of verbal gaffes. Previously, he mispronounced anonymous as anomus and origins as oranges. These incidents have drawn both criticism and humor from the public. Trump is not the stable genius he claims to be. Remember, this is the same guy who bragged about taking a dementia test and made it sound like he was a member of Mensa. What a bumbling moron, and now MAGA world wonders whether Biden's doped up on Mountain Dew. Folks, you can't make this kind of stuff up.
Ronnie Jackson says Biden will have been at Camp David for a full week before the debate, and that they're probably experimenting with getting doses right.
Trump's team should not underestimate Joe Biden and his team's ability to whether they're going to jack him up on Mountain Dew or whatever it is. But I certainly would not, if I were the Trump team, underestimate their ability to do whatever it takes to make sure that he's focused for one or 2 hours that he's on the debate.
It's straight out of the funny pages. And to have Ronnie Jackson, Donald Trump's own Dr. Feelgood, alleging that President Biden is being fed a cocktail of meds to perform during high-profile appearances is irony at its best. It's embarrassing I have to do this. It's embarrassing as a former White House physician to have to do something like this, Jackson told Bartiromo. Jackson is demanding Biden take a drug test. How about that for hypocrisy? Understand that MAGA supporters are suggesting that Joe Biden is using performance-enhancing drugs to explain away any potential debate loss by Donald Trump. This is how the hamster wheel in their mind turns. It's downright pathetic, but leave it to Trump supporters to stooping to new lows. This narrative that they are pushing is a moronic strategy to discredit Joe Biden's impending debate performance and to provide an excuse for Trump if he doesn't perform well. If that doesn't sound like a twisted storyline, I don't know what would. By accusing Biden of being hopped up on meds, they aim to undermine his credibility and suggest that any success he has is artificial, rather than due to his own abilities. And in all truth, Joe Biden is one hell of a statesman. His State of the Union speeches have been iconic, unlike Trump's disastrous ad-libs after losing his teleprompter and threatening not to pay workers because it was windy. Trump's shifting tone and strategy ahead of the debate highlights his desperation. After months of painting Biden as incompetent, Trump has begun to imply he might lose the debate on purpose, claiming unfair treatment by the moderators. His supporters, like Representative Ronnie Jackson, have speculated about Biden using performance-enhancing drugs, despite Jackson's own controversial history with such medications. Adding to this, Trump confidant Roger Stone is preparing plans to challenge the 2024 election results, reflecting a broader strategy of election denialism and misinformation. This dangerous agenda underscores Trump's and his allies' willingness to undermine democracy to regain power. Donald Trump is surrounded by criminals and are already planning for the next big heist. Lock them up already. There's nothing America about MAGA, and that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.